And we are live from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Just kidding. We are here in the studio
apartment
shaped like Anthony's basement. And we have a lot to talk about this week. And I am joined here. On my left is Nick Gaskins.
Big Nick, what's up?
Big Nick is here. Anthony Caruso is also here as well.
What's up?
And Anthony has Donald Trump signs outside his house. He just found out.
Yeah, that's all my parents doing. That's not me, guys. I'm not that
How
guy.
do you know that wasn't like guerrilla Trump guys just showing up and just planting
I
stuff?
mean, that's a better explanation than finding out that my parents put it there.
I was very confused when I pulled up to your house today.
I completely missed that.
I'm aware this is a wrestling podcast, but that had to be brought to everyone's attention.
This is a fairly recent discovery.
I kind of want one. I still kind of really want to take one home and just to have it.
And we're probably not going to get into NXT this time around because I was too fucking busy doing fantasy football, and we were all busy.
I mean,
doing fantasy football.
there wasn't too much going on. I mean,
It's hot off a takeover. I'm sure there's not a whole lot of.
it seems like they're trying to push a little more development talent, but which is a good thing. It's something we've all kind of wanted to see a little more of.
It's been a hectic week.
Something I talked about last week.
I've been worrying about the fucking fantasy, and it's been one hell of a week. But other than Anthony being a Trump supporter, we will get into Monday Night Raw.
Apparently I'm a Trump supporter now.
August 29th. By the way, I will kick this off by telling everybody that I do not like these stages. I'm sorry. I'm going to be that guy. The entranceways.
Why?
There's so much. There's just so many LEDs now. Does that make me weird?
I mean,
are you anti-LED?
Yeah, man. I'm kind of like I like the old Raws where there's like a big fucking Titantron and like two little side Titantrons. Now there's like LEDs everywhere. There's like a walkway LED. There's LEDs on the side. There's LEDs on top.
You get your
the
name
turnbuckles are LEDs.
You get your name on the turnbuckle.
You get your name on the turnbuckle. Like the ropes are LED. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm not into this. I mean, maybe it's because of my Texas wrestling watching days, but
wow.
I don't know. But this Raw kicked off with a very awkward segment, in my opinion. Nick has other opinions about this shit, but I think it was very Maury. It felt like Maury, and it felt like four baby daddies in the ring.
It felt like literally every segment before an NXT pay-per-view. Like, they did the same thing with Joe and Nakamura, where they had them sitting kind of side by side on stools with a moderator there.
It looks less lame when you have it like in like a private room and stuff.
But when you have it in the ring, like interview style, I can see how it'd be a little exaggerated.
It feels a little more Miz TV.
It was like premature, like ejaculation, like pyro, and then that was it. There was no big raw pyro. Like, it was just pew, and then these guys are in the ring talking shit, and Kevin Owens made a good point saying that he thought this was a group therapy session.
Yeah.
It looked like one.
He did the majority of the talking there, and I thought that was cool. And like the crowd, he was getting over with the crowd. You know, you had that Fight Owens fight chant kicking off right in there, and
I don't know. This segment was weird, but I liked the hype going into this match. Obviously, we're not going to talk about that right now because that's later on.
I like how Roman said very little. He didn't really say anything.
Big Cass didn't say too much either.
Big Cass took that shot at Rollins, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, Tall Edge definitely won it over for me.
Took that shot at those sweet nudes that leaked last year.
I saw those. Those were great. But other than that, after that, Cass made the best comment of the night. Then another big topic that this has been a very large topic for the last week, by the way. The New Day and Bayley teaming up together. Now, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about this. I heard Matt Morgan say, I watched this on YouTube, okay? Matt Morgan said it killed her character. It killed fucking Bayley's how?
You put fun-loving Bayley with fun-loving New Day. I don't want to see how that kills our character.
Okay, let me say something real quick, alright? As far as fun-loving Bayley and fun-loving New Day, okay... They came out. This is Bayley's second Raw ever, and we've already seen her gyrate. All right, They came out down the ramp, like Kofi's pouring Bootios in her mouth and shit. Like, he knew what he was doing. Big E's like grinding up on her and whatnot. You know, she's backing up with Big E on the apron. I'm just saying, it looked like Brazzers sponsored that entire match. Okay, you got Dana Brooke coming out in a nurse outfit with the doctors that are the club. Okay.
They're not doctors anymore. They're like retirement specialists or whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
From the octogenarian leisure destination for aging rehabilitation treatment. It spells old fart if you didn't notice.
I noticed. Brazzers definitely sponsored that entire match and the promos beforehand. But yeah, it was just I guess for a few people they weren't ready for Bayley to come out with these thugs.
Wow.
Thugs shaking her ass, and you know, because honestly, like, New Day is among the most provocative teams on the show. It's them, maybe Enzo and Kaz, and like that's it. But they're, I don't want to use terms like ratchet on air, but yeah, you got these guys like shaking it around and doing all this stuff, and I don't know if
like,
I don't know if that's the way
PG ratchet.
This wasn't very PG. I mean, the Dana snapping the glove, the whole scrubs and fishnets thing. I'm just saying, I liked it. I mean, I was with it. Don't get me wrong, I'm with it. I'm just saying.
I retract statements that I've made about Dana Brooke.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
On behalf of all of us Dana Brooke marks out there, we appreciate that.
Dana is
Flex
oddly
Dana Flex, bro.
Flex Dana Flex
is oddly good with the Bullet Club. Ooh. Bullet Club.
Trademark New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I'm not gonna lie, I marked pretty hard when she too sweeted those guys.
I mean,
I was waiting for them to all too sweet. Like, she can't not too sweet them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I here's my big question. I mean, did she throw up the too sweet, and then they like looked at each other and said, "What the fuck is she doing?" I guess
the first time I kind of felt that way.
Was it like a spot, like planned?
The first time they kind of looked at each other like,
no, she was like, "Get over here and fucking too sweet me." And
then the second time when like she decided to go first when the match actually started, and then she like too sweet them individually. Yeah. That seemed a little more natural.
So there's only really one thing left. She has to join the club now. She too sweeted. Yep. That's it. You're locked.
So she's a good brother for life now.
She signed the oath of the good brother, and she's officially a part of the Bullet Club.
Do you guys think this is going to be a thing, like a running thing now? You think this is like a one-time thing, or do you think that both of these...
I don't think it's going to go anywhere too far. I mean,
here's my take on it. I liked it mostly because I felt like Dana actually had a place. Like, she's been, like, basically following fucking Charlotte for the last week and a half. Week and a half, yeah, right. The last however long they've been fucking doing this, Charlotte fucking, having her on a leash the whole goddamn time. So, I felt like she had a place, and it fits their gimmick. They're all about, like, partying and fucking hanging out and doing stupid shit. She's a blonde with great lips.
So do you think she's going to become the Alexa Bliss to their Blake and Murphy?
Pretty much.
You think that's where this is going to go?
I personally like I said, she has the look. She looks like a porn star.
Yes.
That's kind of where that's their thing. They party.
It does fit kind of good, and I do like it. And it kind of makes sense because like Charlotte's got her own thing going on with Bayley now, so I mean you can. Yeah,
Dana could kind of do her like hang out with them a little bit, and they could kind of rekindle that Bullet Club feel that they had with Amber O'Neil.
Amber Gallows, you mean?
Amber Gallows. Wow.
By the way, there's some Twitter heat about this whole thing.
Oh, Amber, you should have came over.
Yeah, apparently she was kind of upset that some other woman was with her man.
Really? She felt some type of way?
She may or may not have said she would kill a bitch.
Wow, really?
And I don't remember if she tweeted it at Dana or not, but
really?
Yeah.
It's fucking work.
I don't know if she was trying to like play along and work, even though she doesn't work for the WWE, like work the crowd on Twitter. Or if there was like some real heat, but I felt like it was kind of noteworthy.
That'd be like Rusev getting tight at Dolph during that whole thing, when like Dolph was balls deep in Lana, like.
I'm going to assume that she's just working the Twitter audience for fun because it's her husband and shit.
I know, but it wouldn't be the first time though. I mean, according to Total Divas, there was some little heat with the Usos and.
You just credited Total Divas.
I did.
Hey man, not
with
gonna lie.
with Naomi and all that, and like
It's a good show.
It's trash, but it's good trash.
yeah. Dudes are getting tight, because the girls are out there, like, doing whatever for the storyline, but it's kayfabe, dog, like, chill.
Yeah, this match was all right, but I really need to ask this question. This has been something that's been on my mind for a while, week after week of seeing the New Day and the Bullet Club, because I'm not going to say the club, because when I say the club, I think about a BLT, so, like, I'm going to go ahead and say Bullet Club from now on. That's what they are.
Like, is that like a BLT, but with, like, bullets in it?
Wow.
Yeah, I thanks, Anthony. That's
welcome.
very delicious sounding. But where exactly
Jokes are shitty.
where is this fucking New Day Bullet Club? Like, what is gonna, like, it just seems like there's a gimmick every time they get together. There's no really, well, I know that the New Day is very hard to get, like, in a match, like in a bloody, like, tag match where, like, balls out, we're gonna kick your ass type deal. They're all about having fun and bullshitting, but, like, the club doesn't seem like a very, like, oh, hey, we're gonna, wear unicorns on our, like, unicorn fucking
They
horns.
do that, like, silly heel shit really well. Like, especially with the New Day, you're not gonna. No, I don't think anyone really wants to see like a super serious, bloody, false count anywhere kind of like blow off to the.
They don't have to do that.
Yeah.
That's not their thing. Their gimmick is having fun and kind of bringing the crowd up. If there was a shitty match before that, like, I mean, that's their gimmick, and they could keep that. I'm saying if they're gonna go up against the club, this does, it feels weird. It's two different tag teams. Like, it's two different, like, not stables, but groups of
You don't have
guys.
two of the same guys.
I don't know. Every time they match a Battleground that they had. Was it Battleground that they had?
I think
They had a match before SummerSlam, right? Or was that somebody else? Maybe I'm thinking somebody else. Well, and anyways, this match at SummerSlam was very weird. Very weird, and both these tag teams haven't really had any.
They had a match at Money in the Bank, right?
I don't know how far does this fucking rivalry go back? Have we not been taking notes on this shit? Oh my god!
They're also the only real major tag teams on the company. They're the top heel tag team, top face tag team. So even if they don't exactly mesh well, they have to. They're working with what they have. They have to.
But it just seems like there's just a weird, like, funny gimmick. There's a gimmick after every encounter.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the point. Is you're not going to have, like, they're not serious tag team. Well, New Day's not serious, so you can't. Like, they're matching their babyface not seriousness with heel not serious.
I would like to.
Doc and Gallows are good guys to deal with because that's the kind of guys they are.
Yeah, they're funny. Yeah. They could roll with the punches too. Like, I get it, but I would like to see Anderson and Gallows at least get into a serious, for real tag rivalry here, because I'm not really buying it. Like, I don't know.
I think it's fun.
It's fun. I'm not invested into it.
And more to the point, what team do you think is going to take the belts off of the New Day? Because they're 370 something, maybe at this point, 80
I think Doc and Gallows will do it at some point.
Eventually, yeah, because they've had it for over a year, which is great. I mean,
I said Doc and Gallows. I meant Doc and Machine Gun.
Whoa.
Yeah, right. The New Day is great. You got to keep the belt on them because they're the New Day and they're fantastic on the mic and they're over as God. So,
and I believe one would even say that New Day rocks.
New Day does rock. But eventually, someone's got to take them off the
very
top
sour
of the
about this.
Don't you dare be sour.
Fuck, I'm sour. So sour.
Eventually, somebody's got to knock them off, though. Eventually, someone's got to knock them off.
Yeah.
And who better than the club?
Yeah. And I mean,
what are the tag teams?
Who else but the club, really? To be
Yeah.
honest,
It's not like the Shining Stars are going to come out here and get that shit.
I almost feel like Raw has the person, like, they sacrificed, like, depth of divisions for characters and strong personalities.
You're saying that they sacrifice quantity for quality?
Yes.
Yeah. Which
SmackDown is the complete opposite. They have a lot more of, but guys, like, people that haven't found their groove yet are not quite as over, but there's still a lot.
And
more.
especially in the tag division, they've never, at least in recent years, never really treated the tag division all that well. It's kind of been a dying art. So
much like the women's division, everything's on SmackDown.
Yeah,
everybody's on SmackDown.
But I mean, in all honesty, the SmackDown tag division, even though it's more, sucks. No one cares. Like
you have like the Ascension.
Yeah, you have like all the really. We all know American Alpha's gonna win that thing.
Like the Usos aren't taking that shit.
No,
Vaudevillains aren't taking that shit.
No.
The Hype Bros aren't taking that shit.
Although, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Heath Slater and Rhino.
Nice. Yes. Surprise put together tag.
Speaking of that, totally jumping subjects. Did you guys like that tour into Heath Slater's single wide?
What was that? Who was that lady?
I forget her name, but it was his wife.
Oh, what was
the mother
going
to his
on?
like 7 kids.
They were all outside picking up trash or whatever.
Did you guys see on SmackDown? There was a small section in the crowd during the Heath Slater Rhino match that had signs that said Slater's kids.
Slater's kids.
Or Heath's kids or whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad this whole free agent thing's getting as over as it is. They're doing a really good job with it.
It's fun. Heath Slater's a good comedy act. I know it's kind of offensive to some guys, but he's a good hand.
Is that offensive?
So some guys take it personally because it's kind of used as a guy like, oh, you're nothing more than you're not. There's no personality. You're just
here to work. Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to that when we get to SmackDown. Sadly, though, Heath Slater is not on fucking Raw.
Yeah.
Which is.
Well, I mean, he is a free agent, so he might show up on Raw.
Yeah, that's the best
part. He could go to ROH tomorrow.
Hottest free agent in sports entertainment.
I think it's cool if there's a guy who can go back and forth like that. There should be at least one guy who just can kind of hop on both programs. I mean, there already is. His name's Brock Lesnar. Yeah. but aside from that,
he won't be back after that $500 fine.
Yeah, that was pretty hefty. That probably came right out of his own wallet. It's like, Paul, handle my light work.
$500. I remember seeing this on WWE.com, and they try to make it feel like he's been fined $500. Are you fucking serious?
We all know the money he's making.
This dude got fined a rent, a monthly rent
for a
studio.
Slap on the wrists in real sports fines are a lot more than that. At least make it $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah,
$500 is so
$500. Like.
I almost wait. No. When I read that headline, I'm sorry. When I read the headline, I literally Steph's just like, I'm gonna fine him $20,000, and Paul's like, how about 500? Sure, whatever.
500, that's not much more than a VIP ticket to the show, with sightings and shit in the back.
I thought it was gonna be Steph fucking winking to the crowd yeah, I find her, but she's gonna totally heal it up. But apparently she's supposed to be a babyface now.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that. So make it more believable, guys. Come on.
Jesus
Come on, creative.
Seriously, for a seat on the ramp and for AJ Styles to sign your shit in the back, you're looking at about $5. So that's nothing, dude.
Dude, if all it costs is $500 for Brock Lesnar to split motherfuckers wide open, shit, keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Yeah. just start
pay the fucking money.
It's like having a swearing jar, you know. Just have a busted dudes open fund.
That was so comical. I fuck that.
Well, Brock, put a couple of the receipt notes in the jar. Clash of Champions.
Whoever came up with that figure is an asshole. To a bunch of regular citizens, $500 is quite a large amount of money. But for fucking Brock Lesnar,
who just got what was it, $2.5 million payday off of that fight? I mean, even though he might have to do back or whatever.
Dude, 500. This dude wipes his ass with $500. He doesn't give a shit. Why should we?
He didn't even come to pay it himself. He said Heyman.
And Heyman had it all in one.
That promo was kind of confusing, but I loved when he just unfurled the fucking $500, ripped the rubber band off, and just throw it down in singles and
making it rain one step.
Really smugly counting it out.
Making it rain one real quick. Shit was mad disrespectful.
That's so stupid. I don't know who the fuck came up with that. That figure had to have more commas and zeros in it. Yeah. 5,000, 50,000.
Had at least a comma.
This guy is easily. I'm pretty sure he's top paid talent.
Well, yeah.
To be no one else makes more money than fucking Brock Lesnar. So why the fuck would this guy like gets his fucking oil changed for $500? Like, you kidding me? What the fuck? Like, that's very stupid. Something else that I wanted to bring up about Raw, that fucking I mean, we shouldn't be talking about this. Really, it's not relevant, but it has to be brought up now because it's almost to the point of being nauseating. This whole this dual gimmick of Nia Jax and Braun Strowman crushing everyone in their path.
They're literally telling the same exact story with
it's the same shit. And we haven't really talked about Nia Jax in the last episode or fucking Braun Strowman because who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and we might as well not have now because I mean, there's no point. Like,
there's no point in talking about these assholes because they're doing.
We're going to anyways, but
they're going to because now it's getting ridiculous. Like, you have literally two people squashing everyone in their path, and they're not facing real talent.
It doesn't make them seem any more relevant because they can beat up Tan Pretty Girl in red trunks and Captain America Luchador.
Yeah. You can't sell me Braun Strowman by feeding him like the really tiniest knife in the shed,
or being scared dude with Offspring tattoo.
Yeah, like I agree. You can't have like a 9 o'clock squash every single week and expect to build off of that. Like, it's not.
You'll never build it. You'll never.
With just local guys.
If you was squashing legit talent on the roster, then that's a different story. If you're squashing like local talent, that's a
Here's
quarter
the
of your
thing,
stuff.
though. Here's the thing, though. You got to figure from a booking standpoint.
True. You don't want to make your guys look weak, and I get that.
From a booking standpoint, there's not enough guys.
Yeah.
There's just not enough guys to feed them every week.
Yeah.
Like, who in the women's division are they going to like? They have,
I get that.
Are you going to have her come out here and like beat Alicia Fox every week? Like.
Yeah. I get that, but it doesn't do. For me, it doesn't do anything with the character. I get it. You're big.
I agree, but like now the brand split. There's not enough young boys to go around, so you can't just have Braun come out here like there's no one for him to throw around every week, so they got to do it this way.
Maybe they should instead of doing that, like, put them in a legit storyline. Yeah, actually make them do stuff.
Well, they're relatively untested.
Or not hire people with shortcomings and actually put legit talent on your program.
If you're gonna grab local talent against Braun Strowman, I want to see a motherfucker as tall as him, as big as him. Then you'll sell me.
I'm sure eventually.
Tiny guys.
They don't make them look bad because I want to sign all those big guys later at some point.
Get the fuck out of here. There's one solution, Nicholas. One solution for this. Okay? Clash of Champions, Nia Jax versus fucking Braun Strowman.
Wow.
One-on-one.
Pair them up.
I was telling Jose yesterday that they should just like totally go comedic with this thing and have them like be married like ODB and EY.
And crush you know what? That'd be the first time they'd ever have a tag team crushing people. Yeah. I mean, the Ascension and a bunch of other tag teams.
Here's a real life solution for this.
It's the first time, except for the bunch of other times that this happened.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense in my head.
Real life solution for this: you take some bottom tier guys and you just let them beat them at like a pay per view or something. Let's say a Clash.
Like Tyler Breeze.
Let's say no.
They're the best tag team
to make them relevant. Like, let's say Mark Henry or Big Show. One of those two guys. Another big guy. Braun can throw him around. Yeah. Because as you recall, when Braun Strowman first came out, he totally just sandbagged Roman. Like, he just ragdolled him around and made him look like a little kid. So we know Braun's super strong. Put him in there with like Mark Henry or Big Show, and for Nia Jax, give her Paige, because Paige isn't doing shit anyway. And Paige is still...
She's too busy with Adderall.
Yeah, well, Paige is still...
Well, we don't know if that's what Paige and Del Rio, unless you guys read something that wasn't...
No, I don't know that.
That was Eve Marie and Roman Reigns, but that was never confirmed with Paige and Del Rio.
Oh, maybe they just smoked weed. Who knows?
Maybe. Well, and I wonder if she's going to try to get out, because Del Rio's getting out. Del Rio's done.
Well, regardless, she's a viable candidate, so...
He has an out clause in his contract.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But
Alberto Patron all over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, feed them guys like that are, established people on the roster that'll make them relevant, and that would be an alternative to just giving them a constant string of jobbers to eat every week.
Yeah.
Or Clash of Champions. Braun Strowman, Nia Jax, one-on-one. Fucking settle this once and for all.
It's gonna make money.
Last woman and or man standing.
Let Nia
Put
go
their
over.
faces on the shirt.
Nia's gotta go over.
Nia. Dream match. Do you see WWE Creative? We've decided a match for you, and it will fucking draw. People are gonna want to watch.
The match is made of money.
Wow. Just like I would have paid to see Beth Phoenix wrestle practically any dude on that roster back in the day.
Beth Phoenix would have
crushed a lot of guys. But but just like every week, we're gonna talk about something else because fuck these two people. The best of 7. This best of 7 shit. I don't know. It's not doing anything for Cesaro, really. He's already down 3-0. I mean, they might give. I thought it was 3-0.
The first match.
Did someone make a mistake on Raw? Because I could have swore one of the.
Because he lost at SummerSlam on the pre-show, and then he lost in this match. Which
Wait, he lost on the pre-show. Oh, he lost on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're trying to sell this best of 7 on the pre-show?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening? Yeah. Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, But that might even be getting curtailed because I'm pretty sure that Cesaro got hurt, like legit, in that match on Raw. When he got thrown into the turnbuckle, and his lower back hit it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was a legit injury. I don't know how serious it was, but.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna hope. We'll go ahead and say that you're full of shit, Anthony.
I'm not.
Because, dude, if you give me 2 matches out of a best of 7, boy, am I underwhelmed here. Like, that's not.
Just some speculation, but I mean, it's been talked about that he got hurt from that, so I mean, we'll see. It might not be a serious thing that keeps him out for a while, but it's just.
So far, they're
another thing to like put the damper on an already lackluster.
The only thing I've been getting from this, and there's really not a lot to talk about because Sheamus blows.
I like how Sheamus called him the Swiss Miss. That was pretty funny.
If anything, Sheamus is looking a little less suckier because he's just pissed off and he just fucking hates everybody. Cesaro, he's the man, and we like him. And
I think this whole thing is really just. Really, to eventually build Cesaro, you're gonna put him down, and he's gonna fight from underneath, and he's gonna come back, and maybe even 3-0 down.
I don't understand why you would sell that to me because Cesaro's a pretty
Cesaro
strong man.
Cesaro doesn't need the help.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Sheamus needs the help.
Sheamus needs to feel relevant. No one cares. Like this guy grew a mohawk, and everyone's like, we still don't give a fuck.
Just like he's not an enjoyable enough character on either side of the coin. He's a fine enough worker. He's a big guy.
They should have never put a strap on him, like with Money in the Bank and all that. They should have never done that. There's literally no reason.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna. Well, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna argue that point. That was the exact person they needed to put it on because everybody hated him, and the whole point was you had to have someone that they hated more than Roman Reigns, so that when he lost to Roman Reigns, they could get cheers. It didn't really work out that way.
No, it didn't. It didn't work at all.
But the logic behind making that decision was a good idea, and
it was a good idea. It was a good idea on paper, but I mean, giving him like a little 3-month title run, it didn't. It was still crap. Like, didn't do anything for Sheamus. Didn't really do anything for Roman.
Well, that wasn't Sheamus's fault. That was, I think it was that at the time that was what they should have done was make Sheamus a really shitty heel character that no one cared about, get all the heat, and have them be excited for when Roman wins. Now. It sucks that they did it, like, I don't think there was any redeeming Roman at that point, so...
No.
But, they had to try something. If they wanted to make the Roman thing work. But it didn't work, now that we moved on from it.
Still doesn't work. I mean, they put a literal un-American character up against him, and he's still not getting over.
Well, you should have got suspended for Adderall way beforehand.
So... Here's going to be our big our main event for Raw, literally and figuratively. Fatal 4-way match.
We talked about this a little bit off air, but hope you guys out there in audience land caught the fact that Stephanie, not once, but twice, tried to make this seem like we were crowning the first Universal Champion. So, like...
I mean, probably in her mind.
Maybe they're just trying to sweep Finn under the rug,
Yeah. Why?
It wouldn't be that hard. I mean, the man had like 30 days to make a presence, and he won all of 2 matches, and,
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you want to be treated like a legit thing, it's not like he did some vile shit or something, and you're trying to forget about him. It's not like they're trying like he's Chris Benoit.
Wow, you can't say the CB word in here, dog. What?
I forgot.
Oh, rest
Steven
in pieces.
Richards.
Holy
It's Steven Richards.
FCC, lay down your heaviest fine.
All right, so we get to the main event, Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Universal Champion of the entire galaxy. Nick, how'd you like this match?
First of all, I'd like to say that I appreciate the fact that Seth came out in his pay-per-view like shit. He came out in full
The
gear.
green? Oh, man.
Like usually, well, he had the gray and black one, but I mean, usually he'll just come out in like just pants and that's it, you know. Like, and he came out in his full pay-per-view gear. I mean, this is like an action. It made it feel
like a match.
more like an actual, which it was like a.
Technically, it's like a reboot of what he did at
basically.
SummerSlam.
Speaking of appreciating gear, did anybody else appreciate how tight Enzo's jeans were?
By the way,
He was wearing jeggings when he.
What the fuck is Enzo doing the intro? Still.
Yeah, I thought that was. I mean,
Cass needs help. Cass needs.
I understand.
Fucking dude in leopard fucking skin pants. Like,
I'm glad they kept it. I'm glad they kept it to a minimum, but maybe they should have let Kaz come out on his own. Like I thought it was weird they had because that was like in the
they're trying to get the maximum pop because they're trying to build him as a top baby face.
I understand that, but in the opening segment, that's all he's been getting criticized for is the fact that he needs Enzo, and that's what the other guys in the match were making fun of him for. So you would think that they would have him make a statement by not coming out with Enzo and not making this the Enzo Amore show. And make it all about Big Kaz, you know? Like,
unless he came up with another promo, he probably would have just picked up from where he.
Because he came out and did the whole thing and did the whole soft thing. I mean that's fine, but like I don't know. It's making it feel more and more like he's a second banana and more like Enzo's a crutch for him and blah blah blah.
And reality, it's really what it is. Kaz still needs some help. I mean, he's not awful, but But
tonight he was going to shock the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Shock the world by getting eliminated first.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Which I'm glad that they did do it as an elimination instead of just a straight up fatal 4-way.
Apparently, there was some people upset about it because it was a stipulation that was added like the night before, the night of, and like it wasn't advertised very well. And
that would have been much better than just one pin ending the whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad they did it that
the elimination thing. I don't like when like fatal 4-way matches end in. Or six-pack matches end in one fall.
If it was an elimination, Owens win it, because then once guys are eliminated, you kind of get to dwindle it down. You go, okay, there's a 50-50 chance that Kevin Owens is going to win, as opposed to like he's got a 1 in 4 chance of winning. I mean, he might not even win this fucking match.
If it came
1 in 4 chance of winning, like. Are we making any Scott Steiner references?
No,
here?
Anthony. Continue, Nick.
In either case, so if it came down to Roman versus anybody, I'm pretty sure everyone got pretty fucking pissed. Like if it came down to Seth Roman at the end of it, then everyone probably would have booed, just because it would have been shitty and predictable, and nobody. I'm not saying nobody wants to see those guys do this anymore, but it would have been nice. I think we were all kind of hoping for what happened to happen. You know?
And plus, it coincides with the whole.
No one was hoping for what actually happened to happen, because no one had any idea.
Yeah, not the way it went down, but we were
hoping for some sort of like event like that, but no one was hoping for Triple H out of nowhere.
There was really only one way you could go with it, and that was give it to Owens, because if you're gonna give it to Finn Balor, you're making a statement. You know, this is an NXT guy.
You got to stick with the new era thing.
Yeah, new era.
I said that last week. You got to stick with it. So
I thought they would have gave it to Seth and then have Seth hold until Balor came back, and then Balor win it back.
No way.
Seth has to be on the pursuit. I feel like if you keep him pursuing the belt, he'll still be good.
Yeah,
he's still on the hunt.
You put the strap back on Seth. It just maintained the status quo, and that's kind of flying in the face of what they're trying to do now.
Yeah. So
I was either going to go.
I'm glad to be wrong about it.
It was wrong about it. It was either I figured we either go the Kev or Big Kaz. I figured Big Kaz probably has like maybe a 5% chance of actually going over.
You say Big Kaz?
No, I said Kev or Big
Kaz. Frankie Kazarian works at WWE. No way,
dude. The heavy metal rebel. first ever PWG champ.
I mean,
because Kaz was the only like legit face in that match, you know. So it would have made it's like him and 3 heels.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no like heel.
True.
Roman's
no one likes him.
He's not a heel, but he gets booed harder than the heels too. He's a tweener, but
he's a baby face, but he just doesn't get a good reaction. He's not a real heel.
If it's a boo, it's a heel. If it's a yay, it's a face.
Fact of the matter is, there's
Cass
no
is the only
what I'm getting at with that is there's no main baby face without Finn, like in the company right now.
Yeah.
So I figured Kaz would fill that void, if anything. That would be the angle they'd be coming from with that. That his entrance gets a big pop because of Enzo and blah, blah, blah.
Extremely too. I mean,
So it's a stretch, but they could have went that way. They could have went the way they went. The only thing that they couldn't have done was give it to the two guys who have held it multiple times before.
Yeah.
So you just can't do that.
the only way.
I didn't think for a second it was going to Roman.
No, of course not.
You could go with Cass, like at some point in his career, getting a title shot and being in the title picture.
Yeah.
But I think, in my opinion, this is gonna sound completely like ass backwards from what we were just talking about. But like, if you keep Enzo with him as the mouthpiece, not so much a wrestler, but kind of like his manager.
Yeah.
Like, because let's be real, Enzo can't fucking wrestle. Like, he's not like amazing. He's not that great.
He can work. He's just
He could work.
He's not
Cass
flashy, but
Cass is obviously more intimidating.
I said it last week. I'll say it again. The man needs polish. That's all. Enzo needs more polish.
But would you rather have him as a mouthpiece or a wrestler?
I'd rather have him as a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
He's a mouthpiece. So he's the promoter for Cass. If Cass ever gets a title shot or he's in the title picture, boom, you've got your hype man, you've got the talent.
Yeah.
It'll work out just fine. Like, it's what it's for.
I'm also glad they're giving Kaz more top tier work. Like
Vince likes him. He's a big guy, so it's like you don't have to put him over here, but it's a chance for him to step up and
for that
the big
month
stage.
while Enzo was out, that month that he was out, he did pretty good. He did pretty good on his own. You know, he did some solid work out there. So I'm glad they're putting some faith in him.
Big guy, he's pretty intimidating. He looks like Edge.
And as Kev mentioned, he's really tall. So.
He's very tall.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he's the biggest guy in that ring.
Speaking of Kev, yeah. Fight Owens fight, man.
Yeah.
It finally happened.
Finally happened.
I just want to say about this whole match, like, I can't believe they had this match on Raw. Like, this was a pay-per-view quality match, pay-per-view quality ending. It was some of the best stuff that we've seen.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but when you hype up the Universal title for SummerSlam and you're like, yeah, we're going to crown our first champ and da-da-da-da-da, and then it
falls flat
because of
everyone hated the belt.
Yeah.
You have to bring him. You have to pick it right back up.
Yeah.
You can't just blow it off for another couple. Not only that, but when's the next Raw pay-per-view? It's not in September. Wait, no, is it?
It is.
Oh, it is in September.
It's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kev's probably going to have his first title defense. They need to figure out
Clash of Champions and Backlash are the same weekend?
Probably not. It's probably 1 week after the next.
Yeah.
But it's both going to be in September.
Oh, I'm thinking old like every other month.
No, they're not doing that.
Okay.
Well, regardless, they need to come up with a number one contender right away since the pay-per-view is coming up pretty soon, so Kev can defend that belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where's this?
You know that number one contender is going to Seth, right?
I mean, it could.
It's not. It's going to Seth.
I'm sure it will, but Seth's got a lot on his plate right now, with the game and all that. But
the game is going to be tied into this whole thing. It's
of course. Yeah. It was really nice to see the crowd react the way they did, and Kev got a little emotional towards the end there.
Yeah,
you deserve it, chant. It was, it warmed my heart seeing all that.
Yeah, for a guy that's been saying that Kevin's the fucking man, it's good to see he fucking finally won it.
So awesome! Like, no one saw it coming. It was great. When Triple H came out and he pedigreed like Roman, no one saw it coming, but that sort of thing was to be expected. And then when he tossed Kevin in and he came in the ring and he didn't pedigree him right away, so when the gears started turning in my mind, and then he looked at Seth and looked back at Kevin. I'm like, he's gonna turn on right here. No one saw that coming. No one's wildest dreams.
Yeah, I never would have figured.
That split second before where it dawned on people.
Yeah, that split second right there. Yeah. That's what I thought. Oh shit, no way. He's no way. Yeah. And then he did it, and he just gave him. Yeah. Just sacrificed Seth on the altar. Yeah. Just gave it to him. I was like, holy shit, this is really happening.
And it was, my God, the greatest thing I've ever seen.
And knowing that the game is a real life Steen mark. You know, also helped that along too. Because he's been a big fan of Kev. You know,
I mean, if he wasn't, he wouldn't have signed him.
Yeah. And I'm glad. I'm just really glad the way he played. I saw this video today, actually, of Kev's son, like, reacting to his dad winning the champion. That was pretty cool, too.
Apparently some dude from ESPN said some pretty negative shit about it. Yeah, well, not super negative, but people were talking about it on Twitter, and then he said something to the fact of him being surprised until he found out it was scripted. And then people were getting mad at him, and then somebody mentioned that his son has autism, which he does, and then the guy was like, the wrestler or his son? I was like, fucking, like, there's no reason to rain on his parade. Like, fucking, it's a television show. People try to berate wrestling fans as like, oh, it's not real. Like, why do you like that garbage? It's an entertainment show. Like, why do you like the movies you watch? Why do you like television shows?
It's performance art. Like, why do you even have to take it to like a suspension of disbelief thing?
Like, we're all adults. We get it. It's not.
They're not actually competing for these belts and stuff like we do.
A very small percentage of the population who aren't children are like, are the only ones that might not know.
The only thing that's real is the Miz. That's it, dude. Miz is real as fuck,
and he is awesome.
But yeah,
I noticed how like when Kevin had he was like looking and he was like, holy fuck, what's happening right now? I can't believe this shit. And then,
that's a big moment.
No, it wasn't that. It was the fact that Seth was like lying there, and in any match, if you perform your finisher, you leave the guy sitting there, you go for the pin, he's gonna kick out. You need to take advantage. So I'm guessing that Triple H, because he delivered the pedigree, it increased the damage because it was him himself. So it adds about 25% more damage to the pedigree.
When the game does it, yes, it gives you a little.
And when corporate Triple H does it
gives you a field power bonus.
Taz also has some speculation on this match in his podcast that like nobody was in on the finish except for Triple H and Seth Rollins. Like, not even Kevin was in on the finish until he got rolled in the ring. Like, I wonder if that was true, because
that would be pretty cool.
That that would have also added to the intensity.
That would be fucking awesome. I think if what you're saying is true, I hope it is. I mean, it's just speculation, but I
mean, even if it wasn't, it was still a cool.
It was still a cool moment. But if they actually do that or start to do it, do you understand the element of surprise in wrestling means so much to
I hope they do more things like that. I know I mentioned it before in another cast about the whole Undertaker thing, about how there was a very limited base of people that was in on the finish.
Finishes should,
same thing with the Randy thing too. Like, very few people.
Finishes should only be discussed with the guys in the match and the guy who runs the show. That's it. Everybody else has to watch. Everybody else, no one knows what's going to happen. Don't tell the boys. Don't tell management. Don't tell the fucking guy in catering.
Don't tell commentary either, so they can have a natural reaction.
Don't tell commentary,
and that's what makes it the swerve of the century, is when stuff like that goes down, it's like, holy shit.
Well, that's how JR had all those reactions back in the day, because he openly said he wanted no part of the finishes.
Which is awesome on his part.
Want to know
get a more natural reaction to what happens.
So what do you? I mean, this opens the door. Like, where do you think they go from here?
Is Seth a babyface now? Is that where do you think that's where they're gonna go?
I don't know. Like, when I first saw the game, I'm like, oh shit, the Authority's coming back. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's what I thought
too. Recrown Seth and everything else. But I mean, the Authority could still come back and just have.
Apparently not. Steph's supposed to be a babyface because she's got a book coming out, so she's got to sell a book.
Well, I guess no matter what, this is probably gonna create a little rift between the two of them. But here's the thing that grabs me, though. So it's not like the game. This is the game coming back. I mean, it's the game coming back to Raw. But I mean, he's been openly running show on NXT, and he's been out there doing stuff. It's not like we haven't seen the man since since Mania or anything. So. I mean, how are they going to play this? Are they going to present this next week where it's like, oh man, Triple H finally came back and he's being crazy?
Here's what I was asking. I was asking a couple guys at work the next day after it happened. I said, I have two questions. Is Triple H going to come back and is Kevin going to be his new protege, his new guy that he's going to work with, or he's just going to come in, pedigree Seth, here's the belt. It's up to you, kid, and a pat on the back, and I'm out of here.
I hope it doesn't go that way. I hope the game doesn't try to take Kev under his wing and shit, because Kev doesn't need it.
No, he doesn't really need it. That's the thing. Triple H probably and by the way, my favorite part of this was when Triple H eyed down Mick Foley and looked at him as if to say, "That's how you fucking run a show, asshole," and walked off.
That was pretty sweet.
That was the intensity on his face. It's just dude, do you even know how to run a show? Because I run NXT, and I don't know if you know this, but
I've got a real wrestling show to get to, so I got a flight to catch. I'll see you guys later.
And Mick Foley with his stupid beard looks at him like, I suck.
I'm glad his beard went back to normal, by the way. I'm glad it's back to being the gray beard that it should be and not the crazy black just for men beard he had.
Maybe this will lead to another Hell in a Cell match between Cactus Jack and Triple H.
Yeah.
I hope this is going to be more of a Seth game rivalry than it's going to be like a Seth Kev rivalry. I hope the match of
maybe they might go with the breakup and then Kevin goes off with somebody else.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I wonder if it's going to be more of a he takes the NXT guys under his belt, like
an invasion angle.
Maybe I've heard people talking about it. It could be a thing.
There's enough guys. Enough people that got called up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big rate of the NXT locker room in the last few months.
Yeah.
It could be a thing. It might not be a thing, but it could be. Especially since he decided to go with Kevin Owens as his guy and not.
But I mean, you have so many more NXT guys on SmackDown though than you do on Raw.
Could be a cross.
Yeah, but it means
he
more.
Could be feuding with both of them.
But it means more that it happens on Raw.
Yeah.
It's the flagship show.
It's just that you just have less guys to work with for an invasion angles on.
True, but you could always just they could have the backing of Triple H.
I feel
now,
they have more chicks from NXT on Raw than they do dudes,
True. Well, the chick wrestlers on Raw know how to wrestle. Yeah. So I mean,
what are they gonna do? What's he gonna get Enzo and Kaz to start some shit?
Or maybe it's not even a whole invasion thing. Maybe he'll just be like, Kevin was my main guy and you took him from me, and
they could work that. You could always work that. You got the call up, and you know how those Paul Heyman guys, Triple H guys.
Yeah.
So, I guess.
Can't wait to get my own Triple H guy.
I feel like this is going to be more.
I'm a Paul Levesque guy.
I feel like this is going to be more of a game Seth. Seth's going to be like, "How could you do this to me?"
Well, there's got to be some sort of Seth Triple H blow off at some point, which I would like to see.
Yeah, so they'll
winner keeps the pedigree.
Yeah, they'll have that match for the pedigree, and that'd be cool. And then we'll have
maybe Seth could get his fucking curb stomp back, which is what
never going to happen.
I can't.
McMahon doesn't like it. Vinnie Mac doesn't like it.
Nobody should be using the fucking pedigree except for fucking Triple H.
Yeah, I agree. You can't give especially big guys pay-per-views.
They explain why they did it though.
Finishers.
Vinnie Mac likes it because it worked into the story at the time. Seth likes it because it's something he can do and counters a lot of moves. It's very quick. There's a lot of good reasons
if I blew my knee out, I don't want to do no fucking pedigree anymore.
Well, no, that was actually when he was rehabbing. That was one of the things that he was most scared to do was the pedigree. Because you had this move where you literally have to drop to your knees. Yes. So he was really hesitant to get back into it. But I mean, he's fine.
Triple H, he blew both of his fucking quads after doing the pedigree for forever.
I mean, was that why he blew his quads? Because he did
Austin had neck problems, and what was his finisher?
Granted,
you realize that the Austin neck problems doesn't stem from that. It stems from getting dropped on his head by Owen Hart.
Yeah, but what increased his
and you're not going to blow your quads out from doing a pedigree.
And also, that's a little different because when you're landing on your ass, you're compressing your spine and your neck. See, the quads is a muscle injury that has nothing to do with landing on the bones of your knees.
Yeah, the point...
You're right.
The point is...
I'm an idiot.
The point is there's a lot of reasons why they stopped doing the curb stomp. And mostly because Vince McMahon just didn't like it. It's very imitatable. And he just didn't like it.
But don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Don't try this at home.
If you're going to be mad that all moves are imitatable, then don't have a wrestling show because...
Tell that to Vinnie Mac. I'm just saying. It's really easy.
I mean...
I'd be okay. Not everybody's going to be in their backyard hitting a fucking Falcon Arrow. Okay? It's a lot.
That would be phenomenal.
By the way, there's a lot of Falcon Arrows in wrestling lately.
Yeah, it's not just on PWG. It's a lot easier to just stomp somebody's head while they're laying down, so...
True.
Run into your brother's room while he's sleeping, and pull some shit.
Yeah, but I put my girlfriend in the Lion Tamer, and she doesn't like it very much. So I'm gonna call Vinny up, and the Lion Tamer is not the Walls of Jericho too.
Well, let him know.
I'll tell him the clover leaf is off limits.
But yeah, that's the obligatory father, son, master, student, whatever, however you want to do it. That match is going to go down.
Senpai Kohai.
And I'm just wondering what's in store for Kev, who's going to be his opponent.
Oh,
we'll see how that plays out.
Find out next week.
So yeah, SmackDown.
I made this a note that they started off with the Miz promo, which was obviously a big deal last week. It was a massive deal.
It was a bigger deal than a lot of people thought it would be.
Apparently, what they might be doing this is they might be teasing a Daniel Bryan return.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I've heard of it.
I know a lot of people are gonna start really egging him on.
I've heard the rumor is that he's coming back for like a one-time thing, maybe against the Miz. But I mean, if he makes a full-fledged return, that'd be cool.
I wonder if it'll be just a one-time thing, or maybe
just legally indemnify them. Have them sign the waivers and let them do a one-time thing.
And have the one-time thing, and then I don't know what the length of his contract is. Ride that out, and then go out and make some big bucks in New Japan.
Yeah, right.
Big bucks in Japan. He makes big bucks like sitting on his ass.
But make big bucks to like actually go out and
wrestle, like, kill himself.
And he has merchandise. He'll have merchandise control, which he doesn't have in WWE. He'll be able to reap all the benefits of that.
I think that this did more for Talking Smack than it did for anything else, because I don't know how many people were actually watching. Like for example, my brother didn't watch it at all. And he was like, wait, people were actually like trying to make a thing of this. I'm like, it was a big deal. Like the entire internet's talking about it. And then when it opened up, they opened up with it, which was a good move on their part. In case
they're promoting.
In case you're like me and you don't watch Talking Smack, like
I didn't either. I only saw it on the internet beforehand.
I just happened to see it because you showed me.
And I only saw it on the internet before. I don't watch it.
Yeah, just because that segment was ridiculous, which I'm sure it'll bring a lot more publicity to it now. But it was a good move on their part to open up with it for the uninitiated.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I wrote down about that I had to point out was the fact that Renee Young says during the promo itself, and I didn't catch this until they re-showed it on SmackDown this week. Re-showed it doesn't make is that a word? She said that's not what this show is about. It's called Talking Smack. I mean, what was the Miz doing? Was he not talking shit? I mean, like this is the whole point of the show. Renee, thank you.
True. I'm glad he kept the intensity when he came out. He came out pissed. Like
his eyes.
That's the fastest red. I've seen him like walk down the ramp, man.
So they, the tag division. Let's talk about this fucking tag division because it is
doesn't matter until the finals. Doesn't matter until the finals, and they're putting the belts on American Alpha.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of these tag teams are.
It's so predictable. It's even like I don't even think there's even the slightest chance of having like that what we had in the Universal Championship match with the swerve and everything. There's nobody legit there's nobody that even comes close to the level of American
unless
Alpha.
They really do the Slater Rhino thing, give him the contract, and then let them hold it for a month, and then let American Alpha take it at a bigger pay-per-view. Because didn't they say this is his last chance or something like that? Like he's got to do or die.
Yeah, I guess.
Thing.
Yeah.
So, which I think would be a shitty way for it to end.
As much as the idea of putting on Slater and Rhino would be fun and funny, you can't have legitimate tag belts on Slater and Rhino.
No,
you can't
But they're such a great tag team together.
Yeah,
I mean,
a tag team that the week before we're in a match and Slater's like my 7 kids and my above ground pool.
How about I don't even know. One of the headbangers fucking gigging up on Rhino. What happened there?
I didn't even see what happened. I feel
I was out of the match. I was like,
dude, it looked like a very basic just guy on the apron, and you're beating up on his boy, and you go, yeah, fuck you too. Just like a quick jab. Yeah. And apparently he fucking clawed him. I don't know what the hell happened.
Rhino was just in the corner, just blading, just waiting for his moment.
But I mean, there's got to be blood when you have the 3-time ECW Hardcore Champion.
That's right.
My God.
He was credited as the ECW Hardcore Champion. Shout out to
that one's for you, Matthew.
Watchmania.
Shout out to the ECW chants when Haven came out, by the way.
Yeah, no. How about no?
Yeah, the ECW chant should have died. I don't know.
I like the fact that Steph acknowledged it. Was like, yeah, I bought those guys.
Yeah, that
was cool.
That was amazing. She did buy it in 2001 off of her father.
Yeah,
but I digress.
No, she didn't buy it off her father. She snuck in and bought it off of Paul E.
That's right.
Yeah, because remember he thought thought he had the deal done, and then fucking Shane and Steph fucking wiggled their way in. Last minute deals.
Thanks, Anthony, for the retro memory.
Hey man, that was my era.
What an asshole. Anyways, Rhino gigged pretty hard, and like I immediately looked at the referee because I had to see anytime there's blood now on WWE, I'm struggling to find like people freaking out and guys like putting on the gloves as fast as they possibly can. It's like, dude, this wasn't planned. Chill the fuck out. Go away from me. Like, that was pretty cool. But I like Rhino and Heath. I don't know why.
Because the Heath Slater storyline is so ridiculous.
Yeah, is that going to kill his gimmick? Does that ruin the whole free agent thing, or is it going to keep it rolling? Because he was doing fine, just coming on both shows and just getting fucked up, and now he's like.
This isn't going to last. They're going to lose to.
But no, dude, they're going to make it to the finals.
Oh wait, no. Who? Oh damn. Who are they? Who are they in the back?
I know it's the Usos versus American Alpha.
The fucking hype. The fucking lame bros. They fucking suck.
They might actually go over. I don't mind the hype. I don't. I like them on NXT.
Oh, no, dude, I mind them now.
Just the long list of NXT talents that didn't quite cross over so well.
I like the hype rider. I like that as a move. I like Mojo Rawley's whole like football thing he does in the ring. I like how he like screams in everyone's face. It's entertaining.
Yeah, I don't.
It's entertaining, and
I like them more than like the vaudevillains. So.
Everyone there's just kind of bored because no one's hyped. Like, dude, why are you yelling?
Because Mojo's like all coked up and shit like all the time.
This dude does like a whole line in the back and like just runs outside.
Oh man!
Fuck that team. I'm sorry, they fucking suck.
No, they're fun. Kids like them.
Fuck the kids. Okay.
FTK. All right.
Anyways, any fucking ways. Bray Wyatt wants to sit in a chair and call out Orton. And I'm guessing now.
I thought that was a sweet promo.
Yeah. No, it's a good promo. But then like when they're talking shit. I mean, hella shit to each other. And Orton's like, dude, I'm like he gets all emo on him, and he's like, man, I'm always fucking mad. Like, I hate my life. My name's Randy. And then
like, I got demons. You got demons, you know?
I've got mad demons, bro.
And his scars are like, what do you say? They were like the physical scars.
He's always had scars. Yeah. That's what. That's why I brought up the emo Orton, because this dude just rehashing it like that one time that he like bought a beanie at Hot Topic. Like,
such angst.
I mean, he was wearing a cutoff hoodie. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that he borrowed Dolph's fucking hoodie.
This guy like went to fucking Hot Topic and bought a studded fucking cutoff hoodie. And then he runs in the ring, and then it like cuts off. What the fuck was that about?
Yeah. That was really weird.
Was there?
And then it was like quick to the women's match, and like Nikki was out there, and
what happened?
Yeah,
I don't know.
What the fuck was that supposed to be? Like,
it felt like too quick. Like, it almost felt like it was in the can. I mean, it wasn't because it was SmackDown Live, but like,
how do they pull that off?
Yeah,
though? Like, do they just like cut it and then like does Randy like stop getting into the ring and then goes? And then he fucking runs backstage.
It's like an awkward moment.
And then for Nikki Bella to come out and be already sitting at the commentary booth.
Yeah, she was under the fucking ring the whole time.
Yeah, probably. Twin Magic.
Twin Magic. I forgot all about that shit.
The fucking Brie Bella and the tissues in her fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, God. But that was very awkward. Aside from that, though, Orton and Wyatt, I guess, is going to be the match at Backlash.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, because now what does Randy do? After Lesnar.
What all aging vets should do and put other talent over.
Yeah.
So he should lose this match. You hear me, Randy? You should fucking lose this match because that's your job. You're already over. You don't need to be any more over.
But he's the apex predator and scars.
Well, he needs to lay down for Bray because that's what you guys do. You hear me, Jericho? That's what you guys do.
Him and Craig Mabbitt have issues, man.
Wow. Reference Escape the Fate. Wow.
That's right. Damn.
All right. Moving on.
Killer. Psycho killer. Anyways, the Becky Lynch, who's it? Becky Lynch, and I can't keep up with all these fucking women. Becky Lynch and Naomi
versus Natty and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. Versus Natty and Alexa Bliss. By the way, Alexa Bliss is still the hottest woman on SmackDown, and I
agreed. Well, I mean, I'm a huge Nikki Bella fan too. Don't get me wrong.
no, I love Nikki too, but
Alexa's still a waifu for waifu. By the way, she grabbed the trunks in that match, which is probably the heelest thing that you can do, and I was very proud of that. But she legit.
Becky looked really weak on that. I don't buy roll ups, like especially like a smaller person. Like granted, like they're not like Becky's not much bigger than her, but Alexa's like pretty small.
It was pretty quick though, and she grabbed them with both hands. Like she grabbed the tights, double fist them, and just dipped out of the ring as soon as the count was over. And I was like, yes.
How do you guys feel about this? I haven't
seen anyone grab the tights in a minute.
About this like heel Carmella that's like beating the fuck out of Nikki now.
I like heel Carmella. I liked it. You know, it actually looked pretty real when she came out of the crowd and like started whooping her ass, and Nikki kind of like Lesnared her into the ring.
Yeah,
and like maybe she like kicked her in the gut. I'm like, all right,
maybe Nikki wasn't even in on it.
I don't know if it's that involved.
Carmella's it's okay. I'll come through the front.
Like I'm actually digging it. I never thought that I would enjoy Carmella anything.
Yeah,
I'm actually digging Hero Carmella a little bit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying it. I feel like it comes out of nowhere.
Oh, it's pretty much that's what she did.
It's definitely out of nowhere, but no more out of nowhere than heel Natty. So I mean,
heel Natty
and it works a lot better.
Well, yeah, dude, a heel ring post works better than a heel Natty.
We're gonna have a 6-pack challenge apparently at Backlash.
Do we already have a 6-pack challenge for these?
We always have a 6-pack challenge with women. Anyways, they're going to fight for the first ever SmackDown Women's Championship. And that matchup is who is it? It's Naomi, it's Carmella, it's
all the non-suspended women.
Yes, pretty much. And if Becky doesn't win this match, what's going on? I mean, you're gonna put it on Nikki Bella to promote Total Bellas? Is that what's gonna happen?
That's exactly what's gonna happen,
dude. If I love Nikki,
but you already got one strap promote. I guess you have one strap to promote Total Divas and one strap to promote Total Bellas.
Technically, Becky could hold the belt for forever because she's the only fucking wrestler on that show. I hope Alexa Bliss doesn't look bad in the ring, which is a start.
Not bad.
Like
she looks
that
good. Amato training, so
yeah, she doesn't look terrible in the ring. Like I thought she was gonna be like be able to keep up. But
no, she's always been a pretty solid worker.
So she could turn out.
She was a babyface when she first started. She was because she did all that much.
Eventually, Becky's gonna need good workers to work with. I mean, it's gonna come down to it soon enough, where like people are gonna realize that this division is very weak.
Yeah, I need to start signing real good talent
compared to the women's division on Raw. So
that's why they need to sign Candice LeRae. Goddammit, make it happen.
Yes,
I would love that.
Make her do a lot of thumbtack spots, and she would be so over. And before we move on to Ambrose and Corbin. I would just like to point out that Becky Lynch, when she did her straight fire thing, she did this thing with her hand where she like
there's
mimicked,
like new gyrations like every week,
like fire coming out of her crotch.
So it makes her
fire
Christy Hemme, right?
I was just gonna say that.
Yes, she was a fire crotch. I laughed so hard. I was like, "Is this why? Why'd you do that? I mean, that's unnecessary. There's kids in the crowd. What the fuck is your problem?"
It's a PG show.
Yeah, straight fire, I guess. She's got herpes apparently.
Wow. Because she wanted to show Alexa Bliss and her mom how serious she was in that match.
So fucking Ambrose versus. This was actually a really good match. I liked it.
And you know what? It was interesting because like it didn't end in a way that made either of them look weak.
Yeah. None of them really won. I mean, it ended with a DQ, but surprisingly, I never thought I'd say this, but Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose kind of have the same style, whereas they're just kind of fighting for their life half the time.
They're just brawling, yeah.
They're just fighting and fighting and fighting, and everyone knows how I feel about Dean Ambrose and his fucking Wranglers. But him and his Wranglers did pretty good this week. And I enjoyed this fucking match. I mean, there's a lot of good spots.
Corbin didn't hit the end of days.
No, but Ambrose
that's kind of good.
Hit the Nigel, which we told him not to do anymore.
Yeah.
God, I wish he'd stop.
Looked a lot better.
Keep doing it to the end of time.
Looked a lot better this time around.
Because you can't have him kick out at the end of days, because nobody kicks out at the end of days. So,
except everybody kicks out of every finisher ever, so it's gonna happen.
I'm just saying it hasn't. So it was cool if they didn't. Is all I'm saying. That's good. It's good on them.
Corbin. Is Corbin gonna be thrown into this because Dean, aside from AJ Styles, I really, really want AJ to win this match at Backlash because this just seems like AJ's the only one on SmackDown that deserves.
I mean, he's the face that runs the place.
He is the face that runs the place, and it only seems like he's the only one he's the only credible champion.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, then okay. So let's say he doesn't win and he loses to Dean, but he beats Cena. That means Dean beats Cena, and that's just stupid power creep, and you can't have that because Dean hasn't beat Cena, and I don't think Dean could. So you basically put him in a position where he has to win.
If he doesn't win, it's going to be like basically spitting on the best talent on your show. Let's be real. AJ Styles has a match.
We can't have this shit happen again where like Roman kicked out of 2 Styles clashes.
Yeah,
okay? Like power creep is a real thing, guys, and it sucks. So you can't have that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, define power creep real quick for anyone that never really heard of that before. Or
So
grasps that.
So if you this is a very shonen concept where if you've got say like a really big guy and then you have like X guy goes over that big guy like Styles went over Cena. That means everybody who goes over Styles by proxy has beaten John Cena because he's established himself as the more powerful guy than Cena. So you can't.
That necessarily exists in booking decisions. It's like maybe in recent history booking decisions it makes sense, but like over the long term, like
I'm not saying it plays into the actual booking decisions, but as far as results go, as far as like crowd reaction and like what they're saying,
perception.
Perceptionally, you can't do that. You can't have a guy who in a normal situation wouldn't beat Cena or any other large like force in the company go over a guy who went over the guy.
Yeah,
because in order to beat the man, you got to beat the man, and so on and so forth.
Kind of like that whole like sex partner theory. Like if you've had sex with this person, then
well, it is to an extent. Yes,
you've also had sex with.
That's an extrapolation of it, but
Cena's kind of on his way out. Dean's now the top babyface.
Yeah,
they could erase the whole power creep thing, and now Dean could be the guy. But I want to see AJ win, and I think AJ should win. But
I'm just saying, it's the same thing. Like, for example, if somebody goes over Lesnar, then they will have gone over Undertaker as well.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
True. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, and if you're especially nowadays, where like Lesnar, ever since beating Undertaker, has been like the fucking the standard.
Yeah.
Like if you go up against this guy, you will lose. Like
this only works. This only works for like really, really big guys, though.
Yeah.
Like if you're like Seth Rollins, there's no real power creep there because like Seth's lost to the guys before and back and forth and so on and so forth.
Sami Zayn has virtually no power.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of like using power creep when it comes to booking decisions because I like when it feels like as legitimate as possible, and in real sports. You can beat the best. You can be the worst team in the league. You beat the best team any given Sunday.
They're actually. God damn it! He really fucking did.
He said it.
He really said it. So.
Fuck.
All right. Go on. Okay. Yeah, power creep only works for like big established guys that are dominant forces in their thing, and I mean this isn't a real sport; it's sports entertainment. So it's a performance art. So there's going to be an established hierarchy.
Yeah, and if you're trying to present it as a real sport, like, people know that it's not.
If you jump out of the hierarchy and you have guys jump into the front of the line and like beating by proxy beating everybody else, it creates it ruins that suspension of disbelief. Like that's all. Like it shakes that.
I kind of wish that WWE had a ranking system where it was like if you win a match against
TNA,
if you have a match against a guy, and you beat him, then you're one step closer to another match. Yeah, then if you beat a guy that lost the belt, say the last pay-per-view, you're in line for a title.
Yeah, that's where the whole top guy concept comes from. You're top guys for a reason.
Yeah. I wish it was ranking in wrestling because it would make it feel a little bit more legitimate. Yeah. Because guys that come back, like I'm sorry, like I love The Rock and all that shit, but when he came back and he's like, by the way, CM Punk, this was back in like 2012, before Raw 1000, and he's like, by the way, CM Punk, if you wrestle, if you still have that belt by Royal Rumble, you'll wrestle me. What the fuck have you done?
Yeah. That's why I dropped him at that point, because at that moment, it became, because we knew that Rock and Cena we're gonna have another match at Mania. So we knew that Cena was winning the
You had a
Rumble,
legitimate-
and Rock was winning the title, and there was no reason to watch.
You had a legitimate like champion with CM Punk, and he's trying to establish himself as this is. Stop with the fucking old men. Stop with this shit. And now, like, you're trying to rehash, old guys. So I mean, whatever. But Corbin, I'm guessing Corbin is going to be a part of this whole title picture.
I would like to see more from Corbin because him coming out of NXT and the stuff he was doing was pretty good.
Actually, I just figured out the answer to my own question. Him and Kane are going to be doing something very soon. So I
disagree. I feel like the stuff he was doing on NXT was crap. But ever since he won the giant championship or whatever, the giant trophy,
Andre the Giant
Battle Royal, he's done pretty good ever since he got called up. But on NXT, he was fucking garbage, man.
At the end, I was starting to like Corbin.
The Baron's going to bore you chance. We're there for a reason. But no, he's what was the last thing he did? He had like a little thing with Austin Aries, right? Right when Austin first showed up.
And the whole thing with the number one contender. And then he was with Joe and was it Joe and Balor that he was in the match with, or Joe and Zayn?
Yeah.
I do remember that. And he tapped, and
that was solid.
Yeah,
that was solid.
And I really liked the promo. He I forget on who, but he was mentioning Virgil and shit. It was a pretty good heel promo.
Yeah, he's done a lot better work since he's got called up.
And that match against Ambrose, like I said, was pretty good. Maybe it's just because their styles are the same, but thumbs up on my part. I mean, it was, but also AJ Styles' balls getting caught up on the ropes. What a weird way to end SmackDown.
I don't know if you saw this.
What was that about?
He got crotched on the ropes.
Real funny thing after SmackDown. I saw a fan video of it. Apparently, there's a match after SmackDown went off the air. It was Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt versus John Cena and Roman Reigns.
Seth Rollins was at SmackDown?
Yeah. This was a match that happened off the air. But so apparently, when Seth came in the ring, he came in from that side. And he jumped, and he stood on the apron, jumped to the top rope while AJ was still on the rope holding his balls, and then jumped in the ring off the top rope.
Oh, really? He's
AJ's selling it.
AJ was still hung up on the ropes?
Yeah. Which the fact they kept him there for that long, for like the whole intro to the next match. That was off the show. That was funny.
He really held that spot. Good for him.
Yeah. Because everybody else was introduced before, and Seth wasn't the first one to come in. So.
You know what would have been great if they're like, oh well, since AJ has this injury, he's going to need a couple of doctors, and then the club shows up in the full scrubs and shit.
You're not exactly wrong with that. With this whole ring prosthesis shit, they're going to come with ring rope-itis or something like that. So I don't.
Same family of diseases as ring prosthesis.
That would have been awesome.
So that's the way SmackDown fizzled out. I thought it was very awkward. I was like, so he's just. It was impressive that he was still on the ropes the whole time and just kind of cringing, and the way that Dean was fucking with him. That's how SmackDown ended. Before I put the wraps on this, I do want to mention that The Miz did something pretty fucking sweet. I completely glossed over that.
The Ziggler coming
completely glossed over that for some reason. I don't know why, but Miz just disregarded his own music and walked to the ring. This guy, I don't know what's up with Mike lately, but he's pissed.
Yeah.
He's fucking mad about everything now.
And you know what? This is exactly where I thought it was going to go. Ziggler wasn't going to win the belt, and right back to the mid-card.
Right to the mid-card against fellow Cleveland native.
Yep. Which, I mean, I'm not upset. They might even put the IC strap on Ziggler at some point, but
I hope no time soon. I actually kind of like it when the Miz right now.
But the Miz is never ending. It's never gonna stop.
Like I've mentioned numerous times before, the Miz has got to hold the strap until at least the season finale of Total Divas. So.
Champ till season finale.
Because if you don't know, that's why he's got it, and that's why Maurice is back.
This is day 149 of the never ending.
We got a long way to go.
Never-ending world tour.
Long way to go. But that is pretty much Raw and SmackDown this week in a nutshell. Overall, the Owens thing pretty much was
put it over the top for the week.
Over the top.
Insane.
Hit it out of the park.
And SmackDown wasn't it's still not. It's not bad. It's not good.
It's entertaining enough to watch, but it's not bad. It's obviously the B show.
It's definitely the B show.
It's more. It's the B show until they start calling up guys like Kurt Hawkins. Oh, great!
Yeah,
can't wait to see him fucking back.
I can't wait for him to count to infinity.
All
twice.
Right. Oh man, Ryan Myers, here he comes. He left high spots. Now he's on his way back to fucking WWE.
I've always liked him, so I mean, I hope he doesn't do anything
rehashing the fucking 15-year-old Chuck Norris gimmick. God,
he had a fucking a weird stick the last time he was in WWE, as I recall. He had some weird ass thing where he because him and Fandango was supposed to be strippers or something.
Yeah.
That gimmick faded out. But SmackDown.
I think him and Tyler Rex were supposed to do a stripper gimmick too, way back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, him and Tyler Rex. I think I think I said Fandango. He was presented with the idea, but he didn't want to do it. And closing arguments, fellas. Anything you want to point out before we head on out?
I know we've talked about this a lot, but I'm still really happy that Owens has the belt. It's 2 years since he came in the NXT, and almost 1 year exactly since his debut on Raw. And it's a long time coming, and I'm just really glad that they did the right thing.
John Moxley and Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
Champs of the world.
So every wrestling fan in Philly is that's the widest smile at the moment.
Yeah.
So if
CZ Dub and ROH.
If AJ Styles wins, then AJ Styles, Kevin Steen, and Nakamura are going to be the three champions in the WWE.
So that's just think about it. 2 years ago, no one would have ever.
No one ever thought of that.
If Styles win this, that means you have a guy representing the TNA universe, you have a guy representing the Indies, PWG, ROH, and everything else, and New Japan. You basically have every other promotion other than WWE representing the WWE.
It's really indicative of where the dub, what the dub's been doing lately, and
that's their gimmick now. It's
I think that they'd be dumb to ignore the fans, to ignore
indie revolution. Yeah.
And I think AJ Styles' New Japan run did a lot for him going into WWE. If he didn't have that run, I don't think he would have ever gotten signed. If he did, he wouldn't have done much.
He reinvented himself because TNA was
TNA was the one that's he got out when
shit with him.
He did a good job getting out when he did.
Yeah.
He really did.
They were treating him like shit. Even his last title run was not good, and it wasn't his fault. They were it was kind of like a here you go, thanks AJ for all the things you've done for us.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Thanks for the memories.
Yeah.
And last time I heard about AJ, he was in that stupid angle with that fucking broad and what's her fucking name?
Oh, what was her name? She was on Tough Enough last season. Chelsea Green. Well, I don't know what her name was on the show.
Oh my god, it was pathetic.
Oh no, I lied. Chelsea Green was the girl on that they did the angle with Daniel Bryan with that same angle with Daniel Bryan. But there was another girl, Claire Lynch.
Claire Lynch. Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that angle was what year was that? Was that the same time we were still watching TNA?
2013, I think it was, because it was right before he won the title. I think the last time, and then he was the lone wolf AJ Styles after that and shit. He had the beard.
He had a dad cut, and we weren't sure.
And they were worried about him turning to drugs and alcohol and all that.
Stupid.
Yeah,
whatever.
But yeah, one more parting thing before we end this thing. Now that Kevin Owens has got the belt, how soon do you think it is before Sami Zayn challenges him? Because they gotta do it.
I mean, I hope not, because I remember when they had that big blow off, maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to hear from. They're not supposed to face each other for another couple of months.
I really hope they don't do that.
He eradicated Sami Zayn, so Sami Zayn has been eradicated to the mid card / undercard.
But
I mean, he's in a feud with. Wow, I almost said Pac. Wow, I almost called him Pac. Fucking Red Arrow
Neville?
guy, Neville. Yeah, there it is.
You mean the man who created forgot?
Awesome. The guy.
The first name that created forgot.
Jeez. Yeah. So closing. So that was your closing argument.
I mean,
one final.
I would like to see it because we'll never see Kevin Steen versus El Generico again. But a guy who wrestles like El Generico versus Kevin Steen.
These guys look just like Generico and Steen.
I mean, I'm always crossing my fingers that one day El Generico will come back from the orphanage in Mexico to wrestle Kevin Steen one last time.
My closing argument is going to be that I am so sick and tired of people. This was a quote in the Ambrose Corbin match when Ambrose does the tope suicida. By the way, props to calling it.
I'm very glad they've been doing that lately.
Back to the Indies with that one.
At least Ronaldo is.
Ronaldo, because he's coming. He came from a
they
different.
Let Ronaldo say whatever he wants.
He's pretty much calling it the way he used to call it.
Good, thumbs up for that.
So when he says you have to watch us, he looks at AJ and he goes, "You got to really watch out for that." And AJ's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got it scouted." What are you scouting? He does it every fucking match.
Yeah.
This is not a closing argument. It's going to turn into a debate, but this is going to be my final closing argument. Stop fucking saying people are scouting things.
Yeah.
They do the same shit every match. What are you scouting? They have to
go back and
everyone has established movesets.
Everyone's got movesets. Everyone's got shit that they do every fucking time. So if someone says, I've been scouting the pedigree.
Oh, you were on their Wikipedia page looking at their list of SIGs?
If you would have followed that up with, like, yeah, Morrow, I watched the show.
Yeah.
It would have been a better response.
I'm not a big fan of that. But anyways, Nick, closing argument. Did you have a closing argument?
I did.
You did? Oh, okay. What'd you say?
I said once again, I know we talked about it a lot, but I'm glad about Steen, and
All right. Well, that's it, fellas. We will wrap this one up. We will rejoin all of you guys next week. How many weeks till fucking Backlash?
I think it's 2. I think it's 2 to both, or 2 to 1 and 3 to the other. Something like that.
It's relatively
2 weeks for SmackDown, 3 weeks for Raw. We are anxiously awaiting what will be the fallout for this Owens and Triple H / Seth Rollins deal.
It's going to be a good open to Raw next week.
Absolutely.
And we will see you guys next week. And we will be live from the basement once again. So
the studio shaped like my mom's basement.
Right. See you later, guys.
Top guys out.